كل شبر في الجزائر يحكي حكاية بطولة، وكل نسمة فيها تهمس هنا وطن لا يركع. مساء النور ومرحبا بكم معنا في عدد جديد من الجزائر كما يراها العالم. واليوم سنكتشف الجزائر بأعين سفير دولة جنوب إفريقيا. مرحبا بكم معنا. صباح النور سعادة السفير، شكرا لاستضافتكم لنا. نحن طاقم العمل في مقر سفارة جنوب إفريقيا بالجزائر، نحن أكيد سعداء جدا بتواجدنا اليوم في سفارة ومع سفير بلد صديق، بلد أخ للجزائر ألا وهو جنوب إفريقيا.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you Excellency. سعادة السفير، كيف تصفون طبيعة العلاقة ما بين الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا اليوم؟
Well, I think we need to start not today, but start in yesteryears. That our relationship was formed in struggle, you know, with Algeria. You were fighting the colonialism here. We're also fighting a special type of colonialism called apartheid. There was a lot of interaction between these liberation movements. You got your independence quite earlier, far earlier than us. As a result, we used your resources to create capacity in our struggle against apartheid. You made your country open to us for whatever resources that we needed, and that I think was a very solid relationship built on the fight against colonialism, fight for independence, fight for self-determination, fight for the right of people of Algeria, and the fight for the right of people of South Africa. That was the basis, you know, of our relationship. And since we became a republic far later than you, in 1994, we continued to build now a solid foundation for going forward. One of the things that our former presidents did was to set up a binational commission at the level of the presidents, a binational commission that would meet in Algeria and also in South Africa.
نظرة السيد عبد المجيد تبون رئيس الجزائري للعلاقات ما بين الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا هي نظرة أيضا مبنية على إبقاء هذه العلاقات وطيدة من خلال إحياء المشاريع إلى آخره.
No, actually, I was still coming up that you, after they set up those institutions and all that, their successors continued in the same way, you know, as their predecessors had laid the foundation up to today, that we have President Ramaphosa and President Tibun working on even strengthening what we have. We had, for instance, the last session of the Binational Commission was here in Algiers in December, chaired by President Ramaphosa and President Tibun, and concrete decisions were taken. And one of the most important things that they decided on was that we need now to focus more on the economic relations. Yes, our political relations are excellent. There's no question about that. We agree on most of the international issues. We've got the same view.
Positions.
Yes, the same views, whether it's on Gaza, whether it's on Sahrawi, whether it's on the future of the African Union and the future of the African continent, whether it is the reform of international institutions and all that. We agree generally on, we simply see eye to eye, we see these things the way we want to go. So now I think the two presidents now have said, now that we are at this level, now we need to focus more on building the economic relations. And we are convinced that there are good opportunities for both South African and Algerian companies in both countries that we need to be working on. And agreements are being negotiated. Hopefully they'll be signed before the end of this year. And that will then give an impetus in what we want to do. Yes.
طيب سعادة السفير، مثل ما حضرتك ذكرت، لطالما جمع البلدين تاريخ من النضال ضد الاستعمار، ضد العنصرية. هل هذا الإرث التاريخي يوحد الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا اليوم؟ وهل هذا الشيء اللي دفعنا أن نكون من الجانب الإيجابي من التاريخ بأن ندعم القضايا العادلة، القضايا الإنسانية حول العالم، مثل ما حضرتك ذكرت، مثل القضية الفلسطينية أو مشكل الصحراء الغربية؟
You know, I was asked sometime last year by in the US by the media that why are we supporting all these causes.
Yes.
I said because we come from there ourselves. At least my generation has experienced oppression, has experienced brutalization, has experienced marginalization, has experienced denial, you know, and there was solidarity that was given to us, and we would not have been a republic if we didn't have solidarity coming from all over the world supporting our struggle. Yeah. And I think now it is our turn to give back, to support those causes, as you say, like Sahrawi and Palestine. It is our turn. We have to. We can experience. We can understand what they are going through. People in Sahrawi, we have a very good idea of what they are going through. We know what they are going through. We have experienced it. And shall I say, the same can be said about Algeria. You have experienced what these people are going through. You have experienced oppression. You have experienced a marginalization. You have been experienced the denial of your rights as a people. You have experienced that. Yeah. And now that you have overcome those, it becomes morally imperative that you must then go and support those people that are still experiencing that.
Yeah. يعني هذا أمر نبيل منكم سعادة السفير. حضرتكم يعني كسبتم احترام العالم، يعني والجزائر أيضا كسبت هذا الاحترام من خلال المدافعة عن القضية الفلسطينية في المحافل الدولية، وأيضا جنوب إفريقيا كونها يعني تلتجئ إلى المحكمة الدولية لاسترجاع حق الفلسطينيين. فهذا شيء نبيل منكم كبلد، ويتطلب شجاعة كبيرة، كون أنه يعني في زمن أنه ممكن بلدان كتار التزموا الصمت، لكن الجزائر تتكلم والجنوب إفريقيا تشتكي، تتكلم وتشتكي في المحكمة الدولية. فهذا شيء خلاكم تكسبوا احترام العالم ككل.
You know, when we were still fighting apartheid. Apartheid was the strongest military power in Africa, right? And it had the support of Western nations, unfortunately. They viewed South Africa as part of their anti-communist strategy, that it plays a very important part in their anti-communist strategy. Remember, that was during the Cold War. So South Africa being in the most southern tip of the continent, they then took it as in their strategy against the Soviet Union. Then they have South Africa that will block the Soviet Union from getting the southern tip of Africa, which will make, and in the north, they had the European countries that would block and the infrastructure. Now, it was a very, very violent regime, very violent. Apartheid survived for so many years because of its violence, because of its violence. But the countries that are neighboring us, they knew all of that. They knew that they are nothing compared to South Africa when it comes to the military power, the power to unleash untold violence and all of that. They knew that. They knew that anything can happen to them at any time. But guess what? They said, we will support your struggle, irrespective. That's why you go to Mozambique, South Africa was there, even Angola, they moved to Angola and all that. But in Zambia, they would bomb, all of these places. They used to do all of those. But those countries remained steadfast in supporting our struggle at the expense of their own security, at the expense of their own security, at the expense of their own lives. Because we've got a lot of people in those countries that died when South Africa invaded and bombed them. Now, if we come from there and then we are seeing what is happening to the Palestinians, how can we then say we're afraid to support the Palestinians, whereas the Tanzanians were not afraid to support us, whereas the Zambians were not afraid to support us, Angolans were not afraid to support us, Mozambique, all of them, they were not afraid. Even small countries like Lesotho were not afraid. I mean, Lesotho is right in the middle of South Africa, surrounded by South Africa, all of it. But those people were taking chances, giving our people refuge, giving our guerrillas cover for them to infiltrate South Africa and so on. You see, and that country, they could have destroyed it at any time when they were, but they took the risk. So now if people could put their lives at risk for us, to go to ICJ, to me, is not even compared to what those people did for us. I think it's because so far we're not hearing that there'll be planes that will come and bomb us and all of that. We're not hearing that. But those people, they were expecting to be bombed at any time. You see, so I'm trying to say the sacrifices should be relative, should be relative in that, yes, we expected a pushback, which we are experiencing now. We expected a pushback and we did. But the pushback that we expected compared to what happened to the neighboring countries, I think that costed lives, and this one is costing jobs. Yes.
Yeah, I respect you, Excellency. I respect South of Africa because of its positions. The last question in this subject, آخر ممكن سؤال في هذا الموضوع. سعادة السفير، أنت حضرتك تقول لي إنه الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا لأنهم عاشوا تاريخ مؤلم من النضال ضد العنصرية والاستعمار، خلانا اليوم نكون من الجانب الإيجابي من التاريخ بأننا ندعم القضايا الإنسانية والقضايا العادلة. يعني حضرتك كنت تقول لي هذا الشيء، قاعدة نفكر نقول في بلدان أخرى عانت من تاريخ مؤلم، من استعمار، من ألم، ورغم هذا الشيء لم تتخذ عبر من الشيء اللي عاشته، وتحس أنه كأنه التاريخ يعيد نفسه من غير ما تتعلم هي الدروس، وظلت من الجانب السلبي من التاريخ.
I do understand how to explain this. You see, most of these countries, they have very serious vulnerabilities, you know, weak economies, sensitive economies, and all of that. And it's usually a choice that they have to make of minding my business so that I'm not affected, you know, and then my vulnerabilities are protected, or whatever vulnerabilities, that's fine. But I've got a moral responsibility to do this. So I guess some of these countries, when they look at it, they see that, you know, these big countries can put me in trouble. And when they put me in trouble, what is it that am I going to do? It makes it quite difficult. Like in the U.S., for instance, since we took Israel to ICJ, the Zionist lobby has been very active in getting Congress to pass measures against South Africa that will punish South Africa seriously.
Yeah.
And some of them have even said they will stop the day we withdraw the case from ICJ. Otherwise, they are not stopping. And of course, we are seeing it happening. There are bills that are being passed from the House to the Senate that will just seek to punish South Africa with all kinds of things that they are saying and all that. Now, I think they are trying to make an example and saying that for those countries that are thinking that they can do anything like this, close to this, what has been done by South Africa, this is what is going to happen to them. And I do know that a number of countries that I've spoken to, when they see that, they always ask me, was it worth it?
Yeah.
And when I say, yeah, it was worth it, they say, but look at the pain that is being inflicted on you. Yeah, sure, they are inflicting a pain, but it was worth it. It was, I mean, we can't see it and fold arms and see people being massacred, seeing a genocide happening. I always say to people, apartheid was probably one of the worst systems in the world. But Israeli is worse than apartheid in South Africa. We didn't have a genocide of so many people being killed within a short of. We never had that. Apartheid never did that. But the Zionists have done it. So I'm saying people, they do get scared, actually. People do get scared. They rather be on the safe side. And I understand. We can't blame them for being scared because they've got their citizens to worry about, the security of their countries and all of that, you know, that they have to. I do understand.
طيب سعادة السفير، من وجهة نظرك ما هي أبرز الشخصيات التاريخية والأحداث التاريخية التي تعكس عمق العلاقات والصداقة القوية ما بين الجزائر وجنوب إفريقيا؟ I know someone.
Yes, I mean, like when I was a young man, a very young man, I joined the African National Congress. I think I was 18, and when we got in the African National Congress and whatnot, we found the older comrades there and all that. And there was one of the songs, of many songs, one of the many songs they used to sing, which they taught us as we were just arriving from home, arriving from home in exile. We don't know these people, they were not. So they were kind of like our elder brothers and sisters. So they had these songs and all that. We used to call them revolutionary songs. And one of the songs, it used to sing about what at that time we considered as heroes of the continent, heroes of the struggle. It was Kwame Nkrumah, Ben Bella, NASA, Modibo Keita. Modibo Keita, a lot of people don't know, he was from Mali, that was, as I say, I was a young person, fresh from South Africa into exile. One of the first names I heard of was Ben Bella's name.
Ben Bella, yeah.
Yes. And if you look at those pictures there of the first acts of solidarity from now, the Algeria that was now a republic, not the Algerians who are fighting colonialism, but in Algeria, that act of solidarity. One of the first acts of solidarity was to, as I said in my opening remarks, that they opened Algeria and gave us all the support we wanted in terms of our development of the human resources to fight the struggle. Because you need particular human resources when you're fighting a struggle. And if you look at those pictures behind you, they would see a lot of Ben Bella there.
Yeah.
They will see a lot of Boumediene and all that. Those were the initial people that we got to have very good links with in this country. Yes.
Is there any streets in South Africa that are named on Boumediene, Bella, or some?
I don't know, you know. I don't know. I'll have to check.
We need to check. Yeah. So, Excellency, حضرتك ما قدروش نتكلموا عن الشخصيات التاريخية من غير ما نذكر اسم نيلسون مانديلا، شخصية كبيرة وقوية جدا، يعني تركت بصمتها أكيد في التاريخ، في تاريخ النضال. نيلسون مانديلا قال يوما: الجزائر جعلت مني رجلا. حبيت نعرف كيف يشوف سكان جنوب إفريقيا الجزائر من خلال شهادات نيلسون مانديلا.
I do not know whether you are aware that I was the first South African to be given military training in Algeria. Algeria is my country.
When the ANC, the African National Congress, was banned, and then there were no more avenues left for people to express themselves or to protest and all that. So the ANC said they will go underground and they will also go abroad. Then they sent abroad its number 2, the vice president of the ANC, Oliver Tambo, to go and organize the international community. And then Nelson Mandela became the commander-in-chief of the new armed wing that was set up because, as I say, all avenues of engagement and all that were closed. So we were forced now to take arms and what we call and fight the regime. And Nelson Mandela became its first commander-in-chief. He then came to some African countries to look for support and also to train, to get military training. He got his military training here in Algeria and also in Ethiopia. That is what he meant by being made a man, because he then became, when he returned to South Africa, he returned as a trained soldier who knew, because his argument was that how can I be a commander-in-chief whereas I have no military training at all. So that's why he had to go and get the military. That is what he meant, that he was made a man, and went back to conduct the armed struggle in South Africa.
سعادة السفير، بما أننا نتكلم على نيلسون مانديلا، في 2023 تم تدشين ملعب نيلسون مانديلا، وكان في ماتش كرة حضره الرئيس السيد عبد المجيد تبون. كون الجزائر يعني تسمي ملعب كبير ومهم مثل ملعب نيلسون مانديلا على اسمه تكريما له، هذا وش يعني لكم في جنوب إفريقيا؟
It is recognition. Not only the stadium, I'll tell you this, not only the stadium. Your citizen who was the Commissioner of Peace and Security of the AU in Addis Ababa, together with the Algerian delegation, they proposed that the biggest hall at the AU, where the summits are held, like the heads of state and all that the biggest hall where we have our summits and all of the AU should be named Nelson Mandela Hall. It also came from Algerians. Now, this stadium also, the Algerian symbolism, and that is one way, I think, of acknowledging people who have made extraordinary contribution in changing the world and make it a better world.
Of course.
And that's how I think we view it. That's why we were happy when that hall at the AU was named Nelson Mandela Hall, and there was no one who opposed that. And so I'm saying, to me, we see it in that context, that acknowledging those individuals who have given their all in making the world a better place to live. Yeah.
He was a great man. He's still alive with all his achievements. So have you been in that stadium? هل رحت ساعتك إلى ملعب نيلسون مانديلا? Have you been there?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah?
I have, yes.
What match did you see?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. We will see. We will search on internet to find out.
I was saying that I am aware of Orlando Pirates, one of our leading soccer teams, has been here twice, I think.
Yeah.
In the 1 year that I've been here, yeah. Yes.
So you went there to support them, Excellency. I'm not going to ask you who played better.
No. Let's not get into that.
It's okay.
Otherwise, your people will switch off the TV. Once you say that, your viewers will switch off the TV. They won't want to hear.
Okay. Anyway, of course, upward, we all the time support of South of Africa team. Yeah, we are with you, Excellency.
Thank you.
سعادة السفير، حبيت نسأل، هل في جالية كبيرة من سكان جنوب إفريقيا مقيمين هنا في الجزائر؟
No, we don't actually. No, we are very, very few. Actually, that's another area that we in this binational commission between South Africa and Algeria that we have been talking about, that we need to really focus on the people-to-people contact.
Yeah.
It should not just be government, but ordinary people should have the contact. And one of the things how you are going to make that is to work on your economic relations.
Yeah.
Once you improve economic relations, then you create conditions for people to be visiting one another. Let's say here you have a South African company opening operations here, you have an Algerian company opening operations there. Obviously, they'll have people going between and all that. And that then also helps with creating the air links between the two countries. I mean, for now, because the volumes are so low, going to South Africa is not easy. You have to fly from here to Cairo, Cairo to Johannesburg, or here Istanbul, Istanbul, Johannesburg, or here Paris, Paris, Johannesburg, Dubai or Qatar to Johannesburg. So it's not easy.
حتى رغم انه خطوط الطيران عملت ممكن خطوط لبلدان إفريقية كثيرة، هذا الشيء ما يسهل رغم ذلك يعني الوصول بسهولة إلى جنوب إفريقيا.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying it makes it easier or not. What I'm saying, the reason why there's no direct flight is that the volumes are low.
Yes.
There are no many Algerians who are going to South Africa, and there are no many South Africans who are coming to Algeria. So the volumes are low. So we need to work on people to people, get to the ordinary South African in the streets to know Algeria, and the ordinary Algerian to know South Africa. And once you create that contact, it's going to result into cultural contact, into
tourism also.
All of those things. Then we are going to have but like you will be surprised that because of Egypt flying, I think 5 or 6 times a week to Johannesburg, people know more about Egypt than about Algeria because there is that contact. People don't know, for instance, of the things that you have here. I don't know what you call this. In Tipaza, there's
Les ruines.
The round, that round building,
the pyramids of Tipaza.
Yes.
Yes.
People don't know that.
Yes,
in South Africa, people, actually, including myself, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And one time I was seated next to your Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
He's the one who told me about this, and I got curious, went to see. Now, the reason why you find people all going to
other destinations.
Like Egypt, for instance. I'm using Egypt because he's in the same neighborhood. It's because they know that the pyramids there are all this, the Sphinx, there's all of those things that they are called. But because they are not exposed to Algeria, they do not know what is here. I mean, the old Roman Empire ruins, like in church as Christians, one of the past people that we call him a saint is Saint Augustine, and Saint Augustine is from here. It's from here. It's from Annaba.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from Annaba.
The Pope talked about him, mentioned it.
Yes, and the ruins of his church are still there in Annaba. Even the seat where he used to sit during the services, it's still there.
The tree, even the tree.
Yes. Yeah. Now, point I'm trying to make is, if there was a much more contact between us and Algeria in terms of travel and all that, these are some of the things that South Africans will find very, very interesting and they'd want to come and see.
Yeah, I'm sure.
One of the things that I've always said is that I knew of an oasis at school when I learned geography. And I told myself that I will not die before I see an oasis. I have to see an oasis. And now what? I'm in Algeria, they have oasis. Yeah. And I'm sure those things people are...
Have you been in the south of Algeria to see oasis?
The most southern part of Algeria I've been to is Tindouf.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm saying is there are all these things that we could be looking at, and getting our people to be interested and all of that. And also, just the notion of being in Sahara Desert. That's what I liked about going to Tindouf. I mean, that I was in Sahara Desert. To me, that was, wow, this is great in Sahara Desert. It's, you know.
You need to see Janet also, or Gardaya.
Yes.
Every place is different.
The same thing, you for Algerians to go to South Africa.
Yes, of course.
You go and see the animals, for instance. If you are someone who likes animals, you go
safari.
Yes, you go on safari, see the animals. You see your elephants, your lions,
the landscapes, the beauty of nature.
Yes,
yeah,
all of that. You know, and our coastline. You know. The coastline on the western part of South Africa and coastline on the eastern part of South Africa, the two seas, the two oceans, like Indian Ocean and Atlantic Ocean, meet at a point in Cape Town. You can actually see the color of the water is not the same, this side and that side. So all of those things are quite interesting, which people would want to see. But because we know each other at political level only, we have not exploited this one.
Yes.
They explored and exploited this.
I agree with you. We need to work on it to promote our country on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope one day we will see our brothers from south of Africa here in Algeria, and I'm sure Algerian people will be glad to discover the beauty of your country, Excellency. We already know that your country is very beautiful. And سعادة سفير جنوب إفريقيا كبلد رغم أنه عدى بفترة صعبة جدا، لكن اليوم يصنف كبلد مزدهر اقتصاديا، يعني كسبتوا قوة، ازدهار. حبيت نسألك كيف تم ذلك يعني في فترة بسيطة؟ على ماذا اعتمدتم؟
I think we inherited an economy that was meant to service 5 million people is what? 15% of the population, yes. It was supposed to service 15% of the population. That's the economy that we inherited, and even the infrastructure and everything. Like, for instance, if you look at electrification, you know, the electrification was in what was white areas, you know, but where we lived, there was not electrification, sanitation. All of those things were meant for the 5 million people, that is 15% of our population. Now, when we inherited that, it had to be turned around, because those people in South Africa then would be asking themselves, why do we continue living the way we were living in the past? There must be a difference that now we're a free country, and those things that were denied to us, now we can get them. So priority was to, I think we're the only country in the world that gives free housing.
Okay.
Yeah, priority was to give people free housing, poor people, the most poorest people, to get them free house, to get them free houses, and secondly, to extend electricity to reach everybody, because as I say, in the villages and some black townships and all that, there was no electricity. And we had to extend that to reach as many people as possible. And the economy also, to make it to be accommodative and transform it in a way that the people who own the economy of South Africa, it's no longer just a few white men, but you make it to spread it and get more black people to come to be in the center of the economy. All of those things, they had to be done and very difficult. And I'm not going to say to you that we're finished. We're still far from finishing because we're still dealing with the land, for instance. The land. The black South Africans in 1994, we were owning only 13% of the land. The rest, 87% of the land, was with the white people. And as I said, white people is only 15% of the population. They had 87% of the land. And us being the rest, we were having 13%. That has started to change. Change it. Make land ownership and the land reforms to make land available to the black people and the people who work the land and all of that. So there are all those programs that are doing that have an impact on the economy, and more especially that we are looking at growth and improving the economy and make it to work for everybody.
Yeah, but to improve economy and to make it work for everybody, did you invest more on education, or did you open investments to foreign society?
We opened investment to foreign countries.
Okay.
We opened investment for local, money raised locally. We have invested hugely on creating human resources, that is the education. We have invested quite a lot of that. We invested a lot in health and so on and so on. So it's a kind of an overall strategy of how to do we. One of the things, for instance, that we are talking to Algeria about is the question of energy, for instance. How we can cooperate with Algeria on the energy, because energy is also critical. You can't talk of a growth in your economy without adequate energy and all that, And of course, we're a country that does not have. God was not fair to us; He was fair to you.
Alhamdulillah, thanks God.
We don't have oil.
Yeah.
We don't have gas. So and you have all of those.
Yeah.
These are some of the things that we want to. We're beginning to be looking at is how do we cooperate and all that, and that you complement us where we don't have, and we complement you. Like for instance, we are talking about things like in mining, for instance. We've got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, technology, and all of that in mining, because our economy for a long time was carried by mining. So we have very well developed mining, and this is one area that we have identified with Algeria that we could cooperate on in assisting in developing the mining here, and also the question of value addition on your mining products and all that. So we've got all of those things that we are trying to do that are happening.
Inshallah. This is very encouraging. Bravo. So, how is life in general in South Africa?
I don't know.
Do you miss South Africa being here in Algeria?
I do miss it's home. Really, it's home.
Yeah.
I do miss home, but I guess I'm used to living away from home.
Yeah.
I think the thing that makes me to miss home a lot is because I'm alone here. My children are grown up, so there's no child at home. So my children are grown up, so they're not here. And my wife has got a career that she's chasing. So she visits like twice a year. So you are left alone. So and then I don't know French, I don't know Arabic. That makes me to be basically here. But otherwise, I take any opportunity I get to know the people, to get to know the country and all of that. Yeah.
وش يقول لك الشعب الجزائري لما يشوفك ويعرف انك سفير لجنوب افريقيا؟
I don't say it.
They don't guess it.
I don't say it. I don't say it. I don't say it because you won't understand and get to appreciate people if you are going to put this thing in front of your face that I'm ambassador of South Africa. Then they will deal with you as ambassador of South Africa. But if you don't say it, they'll deal with you as a
But what do they tell you without knowing that you are the ambassador of South Africa as a foreign person?
Well, you know, like what to them, always they want to know where you're from.
Yeah.
And then when you tell them and they get like interested, Afrique du Sud, at least that's one word I know.
Yeah.
There's Nelson Mandela and all that. And they, you know,
Yeah.
they get interested, yeah.
They are very proud of Nelson Mandela, of course.
Yeah.
All the world is proud of Nelson Mandela. When you want to be in a place that reminds you maybe south of Africa, is there any place here in Algeria where you want to?
Oh, well, Algiers,
I'm trying to help, maybe near the beach, maybe.
Algiers does. The weather here reminds me of South Africa.
The weather, it's a good weather.
Yeah.
But you have 4 seasons also,
Four
huh?
seasons, yeah. And the Mediterranean climate, we've got Mediterranean climate on our west and south coast. That whole area, the Mediterranean, that's the one that has got exactly, it's like when you are here, it's like you are in Cape Town or something like that.
Okay, okay, it's the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
So what about food there? What can we eat? What's the traditional food in South of Africa?
The way it is based on maize. The most popular one is based on maize. We make maize flour, like maize meal, and then from there you can make porridge, or you can make samp, which is the maize crushed. You can make a samp. You can make something like it would look like couscous, but it's not couscous. Also, we make it from the what you call, and we eat it with.
This is very interesting. That you have your own couscous, kind of. Huh?
Yeah, we eat it with sour milk. That one, and these others we eat them with meat. And the biggest portion of our food is meat.
Okay.
We eat a lot of meat.
Grilled meat.
Red meat.
Grilled.
Yes, grilled. I think that's why we've got one of the high rates of gout, because
you eat meat.
We eat red meat, grilled and all that. So yeah, and of course white meat also, but white meat not as much as red meat. Fish is not like our top thing, but we eat fish.
Yeah. So, Excellency, in Algeria, do you eat your own food? You have someone in your staff that make you?
Not someone.
Ah, yeah, you do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Good.
I cook for myself.
Oh, bravo. Okay, it's good to know. Next time you will cook for us all.
I will.
Yeah, please.
And he's also a cook.
Okay, good to know. I'm waiting for the invitation to taste all the tasty food that you described right now. So, Excellency, what about Algerian food? Did you try something? Do you have a preference? Just one.
The thing that I like about, I don't know what you call that. You know, you take a whole sheep, put it there, and then you all eat that sheep.
With hands.
With hands. What do you call that?
Mishwi.
That's nice. I like it. I like the way you do it. It's like what we call speed braai.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, because we have what we call speed braai. You take a sheep, you roast it
for hours and hours
on the charcoal and all that.
Yeah.
After having spiced it and all that. I really do
It's
like
very
that.
tasty, yeah.
Although I think you eat meat more than we do. When I first saw that, I couldn't believe that people were going to finish that trip, and they finished it.
Yes.
So Algerians, you eat fish more than we. I mean, you eat meat more than we do.
What about music? What about cultural programs? Do you often do?
I've not yet started on that because now I'm focusing more on the economic links. Yeah, more on the economic links because if you look, I'm not aware of any South African company that is in Algeria.
Okay.
It's what we call it's quite well. And then I've got South African companies in the whole of North Africa, but we don't have in Algeria. And then I'm not aware of Algerian company that is in South Africa too. You see, so these are some of the anomalies. It's an anomaly that I've put it as my priority number one, that this is where I want to focus. How do we change that?
Okay.
Because you want to have an economic relations that will reflect the strong political relations. That's what we want to do. Your economic relations must reflect the strong political relations.
We wish you good luck. This is very good strategy. We are with you. We can't wait to see all the achievements you will do, Excellency, here in Algeria. That's what we wish you. سعادة السفير، حبيت نشكرك أنك أعطيتنا من وقتك اليوم. شكرا على صراحتك، شكرا على كل هذه المحبة اللي تكنها للجزائر. ألف شكر. قضينا معك وقت ممتع، استمتعنا بأنه نكتشف جمال وتاريخ جنوب إفريقيا وكل العلاقات الطيبة اللي تجمع ما بين جنوب إفريقيا وما بين الجزائر الحبيبة. أكيد نتمنى أنه نشوفوك في فرصة أخرى، ونتمنى لك أكيد وقت ممتع هنا في الجزائر، وأنك إن شاء الله توفق في كل المشاريع والاستثمارات اللي حاب تعملهم ما بين البلدين. Thank you so much. مشاهدينا الكرام، شكرا على حسن المتابعة. نتمنى أنكم قضيتوا معنا وقت ممتع واستمتعتوا بالحديث مع سعادة سفير جنوب إفريقيا. موعدنا يتجدد في أعداد أخرى مع ضيوف بلدان أخرى دائما في الجزائر الحبيبة، والكلام عن الجزائر الحبيبة. كنت معكم هنا غزار بوعكاز، مع ألف سلامة.